The glass door to my boss's office closes with a soft click that sounds way too final. The whole floor outside is still buzzing, keyboards clacking, phones ringing, someone laughing near the copy machine, but in here it's quiet enough that I can hear my own pulse thudding in my ears. It's 3:16 p.m. The red second hand on the sleek silver wall clock keeps sweeping, smooth and merciless. My boss, Graham Harlow, is sitting behind his desk like a judge. His suit jacket is draped perfectly over his chair. A cup of espresso sits untouched on a coaster that says Harlow and Pierce Consulting in gold letters. I'm standing across from him with my work badge still clipped to my belt loop, my palms damp, my mouth completely dry. His eyes flick down to my hands. And then he says it slow, calm, almost bored, like he's reading an agenda item. Graham, your husband and I have been together for 2 years. Resign, or I'll fire you. For half a second, I swear my brain doesn't understand English anymore. Like the words hit my face and just fall to the floor. My stomach drops so hard it feels like an elevator cable snapped. The air leaves my lungs in one sharp burst. 2 years. My vision tunnels. The edges of the office blur. I grip the back of the visitor chair because my legs suddenly don't feel trustworthy. My hands start shaking uncontrollably, tiny tremors at first, then worse, like my body is trying to vibrate the reality away. And then I hear it. The faint, muffled buzz of my phone in my pocket. Not a call. A recording app already running. Because when his assistant had messaged me, Graham needs to see you. Now, something in my gut had screamed that this wasn't about quarterly reports or client metrics. So I'd opened my iPhone 14 Pro, iOS 17.2, tapped voice memos, and slid it into my pocket with the microphone facing up. I didn't even know why. I just knew. Graham leans back, lacing his fingers behind his head like he owns the air between us. Graham, you're pale. Sit down. I don't sit. Say that again. My voice comes out thin, like it doesn't belong to me. He smiles. A small, cruel curve. Graham, don't pretend you didn't suspect something was wrong in your marriage. You're not stupid. You're just behind. My throat tightens so hard it hurts. I taste metal like I bit my tongue. My mind flashes, uninvited, through images of my husband Noah kissing me goodbye, calling me babe, texting me heart emojis, telling me he was working late. And in the middle of that mental chaos, one thought cuts through sharper than anything else. He's threatening my job to protect his affair. Graham's voice stays smooth, measured. Graham, you'll submit your resignation by 5 p.m. You'll keep this private. Or I'll terminate you for cause and make sure every firm in the city knows you're difficult. My chest burns. Rage starts crawling up my ribs, hot and furious, but my face stays frozen. The room feels too bright, too clean, too controlled, like the perfect place to destroy someone quietly. But what he doesn't know is that I already have the only thing people like Graham can't control once it exists. Proof. Right now, in my pocket, I have his confession recorded in crisp audio at his voice, his threat, his timeline. And in my mind, a plan is forming so fast it almost scares me. Because if he wants to play power games with my career, he just handed me the leverage to end his. And if you're wondering how I got to this exact moment, standing in my boss's office, realizing my husband has been sleeping with him for 2 years, and why I was suspicious enough to hit record before he even opened his mouth. You need to hear what happened in the weeks leading up to this. Because this wasn't just betrayal. This was a coordinated trap. And I'm about to turn it back on them word for word. In the months before that office meeting, my life looked normal from the outside. I had a steady job at Harlow and Pierce Consulting, a decent salary, $74,000 a year, and a marriage I thought was boring in the safe way. Noah and I had been married for 5 years. We didn't have kids yet, mostly because we'd agreed to pay down debt first. We had a routine: Sunday grocery runs, weeknight shows, morning coffee in travel mugs. The kind of life that should have felt secure. But if only I'd known then what I know now. I would have realized routine is also the perfect camouflage. The first sign was small and easy to ignore. Noah started working late on Thursdays, always Thursdays, and coming home with that too bright energy, like he'd had a shot of adrenaline on the drive. Me, long day. Him, yeah, you know. Meetings ran over. Me, with who? Him, just the team. His eyes never met mine when he said it. Not fully. Just a flicker, then away. At first, I told myself I was being paranoid. People get busy. Careers get intense. Marriage has seasons. Then my boss started doing something weird. Graham began asking about Noah in these casual, too specific ways. Graham, how's your husband doing? Still running those half marathons? Me, yeah. He tries. Graham, good discipline. I respect that. I remember walking back to my desk afterward, the carpet muffling my steps, and thinking, why does Graham know that? I don't talk about Noah at work. The next 30 seconds changed my life forever, and it happened in the most mundane way possible. On May 9th at 6:38 p.m., Noah was in the shower. His phone was charging on the kitchen counter, face up. I wasn't snooping. I was chopping onions for dinner, eyes watering, when his phone lit up with a preview notification. Calendar invite GH. Title, Private Training, Suite 1210. Location, the Meridian Hotel. Time, 8 p.m. My hand froze mid-chop. Onion smell burned my nose. The knife hovered over the cutting board. Private training? Suite? Hotel? I stared at the notification like it might rearrange itself into something innocent. Then another notification popped up. This one made my stomach go hollow. Text unknown number. Same rule. No messages after you leave. See you soon. I couldn't breathe. My mind raced, hunting for explanations. Maybe he was helping a friend. Maybe it was a surprise for me, maybe. But the Meridian Hotel wasn't romantic. It was business. It was discreet. The kind of place executives used when they didn't want to be seen. When Noah walked out of the shower, towel around his waist, he caught me staring at his phone. Him, what's wrong? Me, who's GH? His face shifted so fast, surprise, then annoyance, then smoothness, that I almost missed it. Him, what? Me, your calendar. Private training. Meridian Hotel. Suite 1210. He laughed, but it was forced. Him. Babe, it's nothing. Me. Nothing is usually not in a hotel suite. Him. It's networking. For a client. Me. A client who texts you, no messages after you leave? His shoulders tightened. Him. Why are you looking at my phone? Me. Because it lit up in front of me. Him. You're overthinking. There it was. Overthinking. My feelings were the problem, not his secrecy. That night, he left at 7:41 p.m. in a button-down shirt he never wore for clients, smelling like the expensive cologne he only used on anniversaries. And I did something I'm not proud of. I opened our home Wi-Fi router app and looked at connected devices. His phone disconnected at 7:44 p.m. And my gut told me exactly where he was going. I didn't confront him again right away. I knew the moment I pushed too hard, he'd start hiding better. So I started rehearsing what I'd say when the truth finally had nowhere left to go. Me, in my head, show me proof it's a client. Him, in my head, you're being crazy. Me, then explain why the invite is under initials. Him, it's not what you think. Me, then what is it? I practiced those lines while I pretended to be normal. While I answered emails. While I smiled in meetings. And the more I watched Noah, the more I noticed patterns. He'd shower as soon as he got home. He'd put his phone face down on the table. He'd start guarding it like it was a weapon. Then came the second sign. A charge on our joint credit card. The Meridian Hotel, $462.18, May 10th. I asked him about it at breakfast, my voice calm even while my chest screamed. Me, what's this charge? Noah didn't even blink. Him, work reimburses me. Don't worry. Me, but you said it was networking. Why is it on our card? Him, because it's easier. Stop stressing. Stop stressing. Always stop stressing. Like the truth was a stressor, not a right. 2 days later, Graham called me into his office for the first time in months. His assistant, Kelly, messaged, "Graham needs you. ASAP." I walked down the hallway, heels clicking, the fluorescent lights too bright above me. And right before I reached his door, I felt the weirdest sensation, like I was about to step onto thin ice. So I hit record. I didn't know it would save me. I just knew I needed something real. Something undeniable. Because my life was starting to feel like I was being lied to from every direction, and I was done being the only honest person in the room. After I left Graham's office that day, I somehow made it back to my desk without collapsing. I remember the carpet pattern, gray squares with thin blue lines, like my brain latched onto it for stability. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely type. My mouth felt cotton dry. I opened my email and stared at the subject lines like they were written in another language. Then my phone buzzed. Noah, running late. Don't wait up. I stared at that text until my vision blurred with angry tears. Running late. Late where? Late to Graham? I went to the restroom, locked myself in a stall, and played the recording. Graham's voice filled my earbuds, crisp and smug. Graham, recording, your husband and I have been together for 2 years. Resign, or I'll fire you. Hearing it again felt like being punched in the chest. My stomach turned. I pressed my palm to my mouth to keep from making a sound. Then I did what betrayed people always do first. I tried to find a way for it not to be real. Maybe he meant together, like business partners. Maybe it was a cruel joke. Maybe. But he'd said together. Like lovers. Like a secret. And he'd threatened me. I wiped my face, went back to my desk, and acted normal until 5:30 p.m. The minute I got to my car, I called Noah. My fingers were so numb I almost dropped the phone. He answered on the 3rd ring, breathless. Him, hey, what's up? Me, where are you? Him, work. Me, what work? You don't work nights on Mondays. Him, I told you, things are busy. Me, Noah. My voice trembled. I need you to tell me the truth. He sighed, irritated. Him, what truth? Me, about Graham. There was a pause, just half a second too long. Him, what about your boss? Me, don't do that. I swallowed hard. Don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. He laughed, but it had a sharp edge. Him, you're being weird. Me, are you sleeping with him? Silence. It was so loud it felt like a scream. Him, what? No. Me, lie. Him, excuse me. Me, I said that's a lie. His next words were his biggest mistake. Him, you're insane. You need help. My whole body went hot then cold. Me, I need help because I asked a question? Him, because you're making disgusting accusations. Me, then answer it. Him, I did. No. Me, okay. My voice went dangerously calm. Then why did Graham tell me you've been together for 2 years? He exhaled hard, like I was exhausting him. Him, Graham said that? Me, yes. Him, why would you believe him? Me, because you've been lying to me for months. Him, I haven't lied. Me, Meridian Hotel. Suite 1210. Private training, $462.18 on our card. Him, that was. Me, and the text, no messages after you leave. Him, you went through my phone? Me, it popped up on the counter. Him, you're spying on me. Me, I'm noticing you. Him, you always do this. You take something small and blow it up. Me, 2 years isn't small. He stammered, voice tightening. Him, I'm not doing this with you right now. Me, then when? Him, later. Me, no, I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles hurt. You come home. Now. Him, I can't. Me, why? Him, because I'm in a meeting. Me, at the Meridian? Him, stop. Me, say you're not with him. Him, I'm not with him. Me, swear on your mother. He went silent again. Me, swear. Him, don't put my mom in this. Me, because you can't swear. His breathing changed. Like a cornered animal. Him, you're twisting everything. Me, Noah, I am begging you. My voice cracked. Just tell me. Am I your wife, or am I your cover? He snapped. Him, why are you talking like that? Me, because I feel like I'm dying inside. He lowered his voice cold. Him, you want the truth? Fine. Maybe I talked to Graham. Maybe it got complicated. But it's not what you think. Me, what is it then? Him, it's emotional. It's stress. I don't know. Me, have you slept with him? Him, that's none of your business. I froze. Me, none of my business? I whispered, shaking. You're my husband. Him, you're making this impossible. Me, I'm making it impossible? You're cheating. Him, I'm not cheating. Me, then what do you call it? He didn't answer. The lie slid off his tongue so easily and then died there, because he couldn't find another one that fit. I hung up before I started screaming. I drove home on autopilot, hands trembling on the wheel, tears falling so hard I had to blink through them. The world felt unreal, streetlights smeared into glowing lines, The radio too cheerful, my own breathing loud and ragged. When Noah finally came home at 11:12 p.m., he walked in like he was annoyed I was awake. He tossed his keys into the bowl, loosened his tie, and avoided my eyes. Him, we're not doing this tonight. Me, oh we are. My voice sounded calm, but my chest felt like it was on fire. Sit down. He didn't. Him, I'm tired. Me, I don't care. He stared at me, stunned by my tone. Him, who are you right now? Me, the person you've been lying to. He tried to step past me toward the bedroom. I moved in front of him. Me, answer me. Him, move. Me, no. He clenched his jaw. Him, you're being dramatic. Me, you're being unfaithful. Him, I didn't. Me, Noah. I took a breath. I recorded Graham today. His eyes flicked up, sharp. Him, you what? Me, I recorded him. Him, why? Me, because he threatened my job. Noah's face tightened, and for the first time I saw fear. Him, what did he say? Me, he said you and he have been together for 2 years. He told me to resign or he'd fire me. Noah's mouth opened, then closed. His hands trembled slightly at his sides. Him, he can't say that. Me, he did. Him, you're lying. Me, play it. I pulled out my phone, thumb hovering over the file. He took a step back. Him, don't. Me, why not? Him, because it's private. Me, so it's true. His shoulders sagged a fraction. Him, it's not, I didn't mean for. Me, yes or no? My voice turned icy. Are you sleeping with my boss? His voice broke. Him, I didn't plan it. That was the confession. Not clean, not brave, just the truth slipping out because he was out of room to lie. My knees went weak. I grabbed the edge of the counter to stay upright. Me, how long? He swallowed hard. Him, 2 years. Every word was another stab. Me, while you kissed me goodnight. Him, Me, while you promised we'd have kids. Him, I'm sorry. Me, sorry doesn't give me 2 years back. He tried to reach for me. I stepped away like his touch was poison. Me, did you love him? Noah's eyes darted. Him, it wasn't like that. Me, then what was it? He whispered, ashamed. Him, it started as favors. Connections. Then it got physical. Then I couldn't stop. I stared at him, trembling with contained rage. Me, so you sold your marriage for career help. Him, I didn't sell. Me, you did. I shot back. And he's using it to threaten me. Noah's voice turned defensive. Him, he's not threatening you. He's trying to protect us. Me, protect us. I laughed through tears. He told me to resign. Noah's eyes flashed. Him, then resign. I froze. Me, what? Him, just quit. We'll figure it out. Me, so your solution is I sacrifice my career so you can keep your affair comfortable? Him, it's not an affair anymore. That sentence landed like a slap. Me, what does that mean? Noah looked away, voice low. Him, it means he matters. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My husband, was standing in our kitchen choosing my boss over me. And in that moment, the devastation turned into something sharper. Strategy. Because if they wanted me quiet, unemployed, and ashamed, they were about to learn what happens when you threaten the wrong woman. I didn't sleep that night. I laid on the couch with a throw blanket pulled up to my chin, staring at the ceiling fans spinning slow circles like time mocking me. Noah slept in our bed like he always did. At 6:02 a.m., I got up, made coffee I barely tasted, and called Nina, my friend from college who worked in HR compliance at a different firm. She picked up on the first ring. Nina, hey, why are you calling this early? Me, because my life just exploded. My voice sounded steady, but my hands were shaking around the mug. I need you to tell me what to do next. And I need you to be brutally honest. When I told her everything, the affair, the threat, the recording, she went silent for a moment. Nina, okay. Her tone turned razor sharp. First, do not resign. Second, do not tell Graham you recorded him. Third, you need to document everything. Dates, times, messages. And you need an employment attorney yesterday. Me, he said he'll fire me for cause. Nina, that's retaliation. And coercion. And if he's sleeping with your husband, it's also a conflict of interest nightmare. Keep your mouth shut and let them hang themselves. Her words gave me the courage to do what came next. Confrontation 1. Noah. Again, this time with boundaries. That evening, I sat at the dining table with a legal pad and wrote 3 columns: what I know, what I can prove, what I need. When Noah came in, I didn't look up. Him, are you still mad? Me, sit down. He hesitated, then pulled out a chair. Him, I said I'm sorry. Me, I'm not here to hear sorry. I slid the paper toward him. I'm here to hear facts. He swallowed. Me, I want the truth. Start from the beginning. Him, I told you 2 years. Me, who initiated it? Him, Graham. Me, how? Him, he saw me at a charity event. He asked about my work. He said he could connect me with people. Me, and you thought sleeping with him was networking. Him, it wasn't like that at first. Me, did you ever intend to tell me? Noah's voice went small. Him, no. I nodded slowly, absorbing the cruelty of that. Me, has he given you money? Him, no. Me, has he given you jobs? Contracts? Promotions? Noah's eyes flickered. Him, he helped. Me, how much? Him, he got me that account with Redwood Fitness. He spoke quickly. He introduced me to a CFO who. Me, so your career is tied to him. Him, yes. Me, then you're compromised. I lifted my phone. And I'm going to protect myself. Noah's face tightened. Him, what are you doing? Me, I'm filing for divorce. He jerked back like I'd thrown something at him. Him, no, don't do that. Me, you already ended our marriage. I'm just making it official. Him, please, we can work through it. Me, you told me to resign. My voice was deadly calm. You chose him. Noah's eyes filled with tears, real or performative. I didn't care anymore. Him, I didn't choose him. I panicked. Me, I'm not your panic solution. Confrontation 2. Graham. Through a controlled meeting, not emotion. The next day at work, Graham sent a calendar invite. Follow-up, 2:30 p.m., Graham's office. I went, but not alone. I wore a small black blazer and clipped a tiny microphone to the inside seam near my collar, Nina's suggestion. I also emailed myself the recording file and uploaded it to a secure cloud drive with a password Noah didn't know. In Graham's office, he smirked when I walked in. Graham, have you thought about my offer? Me, I have. Graham, good girl. My skin crawled at those words. Me, I'm not resigning. His smile faded. Graham, then you're forcing my hand. Me, are you threatening me again? He narrowed his eyes. Graham, I'm telling you reality. This firm needs loyalty. Not chaos. Me, you created the chaos. Graham laughed low. Graham, no. Your husband did. And frankly, you're lucky I'm giving you a graceful exit. Me, graceful. Graham leaned forward, voice dropping like poison. Graham, if you make this messy, I will make sure you never work in this industry again. My heart pounded, but my voice stayed steady. Me, is that a promise? He blinked. Graham, excuse me. Me, because it sounds like blackmail. His face hardened. Graham, you don't have proof of anything. I held his gaze. Me, you sure about that? For the first time, I saw a flicker of uncertainty. He recovered fast. Graham, leave my office. Me, gladly. I walked out without shaking. Not because I wasn't terrified, because I was. But fear is useful when you convert it into precision. Confrontation 3. The HR Director. Strategic Disclosure. That afternoon at 4:11 p.m., I requested a meeting with HR, Dana Whitcomb, and I brought a typed statement with dates and times. I didn't dump everything. I did it in a way that forced them to act. Dana, you said this was urgent. Me, it is. I slid the statement over. I'm reporting retaliation threats from Graham Harlow. Dana's eyebrows lifted. Dana, threats. Me, he told me to resign or he would fire me. He threatened to damage my reputation in the industry. Dana sat up straighter. Dana, do you have documentation? I met her eyes. Me, I have evidence. I also want to be clear, I'm not comfortable discussing everything without counsel present. Dana's voice went careful. Dana, understood. Me, I'm asking for immediate protection from retaliation, and I want confirmation in writing that my job is secure while you investigate. Dana exhaled slowly. Dana, okay. We'll open an investigation. Me, good. I paused. And Dana? Please be aware Graham may attempt to frame me as unstable. I want my performance records pulled. All of them. Dana's gaze sharpened. Dana, noted. Confrontation 4. Noah's final talk attempt, where he tried to rewrite reality. That night, Noah cornered me in the hallway outside the bedroom. Him, can we talk? Me, we've talked. Him, no. Like, really talk. Me, you mean you want another chance to explain why betrayal is my fault? His face tightened. Him, I never said it was your fault. Me, you said I should resign. Him, I was trying to protect you. Me, by destroying me. He rubbed his face. Him, Graham is powerful. You don't understand what he can do. Me, oh, I understand. I stepped closer, voice low. That's why I recorded him. Noah froze. Him, you recorded him? Me, yes. Him, delete it. Me, no. Him, you have no idea how dangerous that is. Me, dangerous for who? I asked with contained rage. For me, or for him? Noah's voice cracked. Him, for all of us. Me, there is no us anymore. He grabbed my wrist. Not hard, but enough that my skin prickled. Him, please. If you do this, he'll ruin me. I pulled my arm free. Me, you ruined you. And then I said the words I'd been holding inside my throat like a blade. Me, pack a bag. You're sleeping somewhere else tonight. Noah's eyes widened. Him, this is my house too. Me, not emotionally. Not morally. I pointed to the door. Go. He stared at me, breathing fast, then whispered. Him, you're going to regret this. Me, no, my voice went calm. I'm going to survive it. He left, slamming the door so hard the picture frames rattled. I stood there shaking, tears streaming down my face, and for a second I felt the full weight of it, how lonely betrayal is. Then my phone buzzed. An email from HR. Subject, confirmation of complaint receipt, case hashtag 24-1178. It was real now. Official. And the best was yet to come. Because Graham and Noah still thought they were in control. They had no idea the recording existed in 3 separate locations. They had no idea I'd already scheduled consultations with 2 employment attorneys. They had no idea I was about to force the truth into daylight, where power like theirs can't hide. The investigation moved faster than I expected. Not because the system is always fair, but because my boss had made a mistake that corporations can't ignore. He created liability. 3 days after I filed the complaint, Dana from HR called me into a conference room at 10:07 a.m. There was a second person there, a woman in a charcoal suit with a leather portfolio. Dana introduced her. Dana, this is Marilyn Cho, outside counsel for the firm. My stomach clenched. Outside counsel meant this was serious. It also meant the company was already thinking about protecting itself. Marilyn's voice was polite but sharp. Marilyn, we understand you reported that Mr. Harlow threatened termination if you did not resign. Me, yes. Marilyn, do you have evidence of that statement? I took a slow breath. This was the moment. Me, yes. I slid my phone across the table. I recorded the conversation. Dana's eyes widened. Dana, you recorded him? Me, I did. Marilyn didn't blink. She simply nodded like she'd been waiting for this. Marilyn, may we listen? I pressed play. Graham's voice filled the room, confident, careless. Graham, audio, your husband and I have been together for 2 years. Resign, or I'll fire you. Dana's face went pale. Marilyn's expression stayed controlled, but her fingers tightened around her pen. The recording continued. Graham, audio, if you make this messy, I will make sure you never work in this industry again. When it ended, the silence was deafening. Dana swallowed hard. Dana, okay. Marilyn spoke slowly. Marilyn, thank you for providing this. This is significant. Me, that's one word for it. Dana's voice trembled. Dana, you understand we'll need to place you on paid administrative leave while we investigate. Me, paid. Dana, paid. Marilyn added carefully. Marilyn, and you are not to have any contact with Mr. Harlow during this time. He will also be instructed not to contact you. My heart pounded. Me, so what happens now? Marilyn met my eyes. Marilyn, now we determine the extent of the misconduct. 2 hours later, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Unknown. You think you're smart. You're replaceable. I stared at it, my skin going cold. Then another message, this time from Noah. Noah, Graham is furious. What did you do? I didn't respond. I screenshot everything, saved it into my evidence folder, and forwarded it to Marilyn. That evening, I got a call from Dana. Dana, I need to ask you something sensitive. Me, go ahead. Dana, is your husband involved with Mr. Harlow? My throat tightened. Me, yes. Dana exhaled, shaky. Dana, okay. Me, you didn't know? Dana, no. But we've received information suggesting there may be a broader pattern of misconduct. A pattern. That meant I wasn't the only one he'd threatened. I'll never forget the moment I realized my pain was bigger than my marriage. This was about power, control, predation. 2 days later, the fallout hit like a collapsing building. At 9:30 a.m., I got an email from the firm's CEO. Subject, organizational update. It was brief, corporate, cold. Effective immediately, Graham Harlow has been placed on leave pending investigation. I read it 3 times, my hands shaking, not from fear this time, but from adrenaline. Noah called me at 9:42 a.m. I let it ring. He called again. Then he texted. Noah, please. We need to talk. I finally answered, voice flat. Me, what? Noah's voice was frantic. Him, did you tell them about us? About me. Me, I told them the truth. Him, you destroyed everything. Me, no, I spoke slowly. You did. 2 years ago. Him, Graham is saying you set him up. Me, of course he is. Him, he says you're retaliating because you're jealous. I laughed, bitter. Me, jealous of what? A man who threatens people to keep them quiet. Noah's voice cracked. Him, he's going to ruin me. Me, you're not the victim. Him, I loved you. Me, then you wouldn't have handed me to my boss like collateral. He started crying real sobs. Him, please, please don't do this. Me, I'm not doing anything. My voice stayed calm. I'm letting consequences happen. That night, Noah showed up at my door anyway. 8:18 p.m. Rain on his jacket. Eyes red. Hands shaking. He held up his phone like a peace offering. Him, he's texting me nonstop. He's blaming me. He's saying if I don't fix this, he'll tell everyone Me, you're scared of being exposed. Him, yes. Me, then welcome to how I felt when you lied to me every day. He stepped forward. Him, please. We can start over. Me, Noah. I stared at him, voice soft but final. You don't get to start over with me. You get to start over with yourself. He reached for my hand. I didn't let him. Me, you need to leave. Him, where am I supposed to go? Me, anywhere that isn't here. His last words were almost a whisper. Him, I didn't think you'd actually fight back. I held his gaze. Me, that's because you didn't know who I was when I wasn't trying to keep you comfortable. I closed the door. And for the first time since Graham's office, I breathed like my lungs belonged to me again. 2 weeks later, the investigation concluded. Marilyn called me personally. Marilyn, the firm has accepted Mr. Harlow's resignation effective immediately. His access has been terminated. His severance is not being granted. I sat down hard on the couch. Me, so he's gone. Marilyn, yes. Me, and my job. Marilyn, your job is secure. In addition, the firm would like to discuss a settlement regarding your complaint. When she said the number, I had to ask her to repeat it. Marilyn, $96,000, plus attorney's fees up to $18,000, plus a neutral reference clause. I closed my eyes, shaking. Not because money erases betrayal, but because justice that's measurable, documented, signed feels like the universe finally acknowledging you mattered. Noah didn't get to walk away clean either. In the divorce, my attorney uncovered messages between Noah and Graham discussing my employment like it was a bargaining chip. Noah, message, she'll resign if you push hard enough. Graham, message, good. Keep her compliant. My attorney slid the printed pages across the table in mediation. Attorney, do you deny these messages are yours? Noah went pale. Him, I. Attorney, answer. Noah's voice was broken. Him, no. And just like that, his credibility collapsed. He didn't get the favorable split he wanted. He didn't get to frame me as unstable. He got exactly what he deserved, the truth, formal, recorded, and permanent. It's been 14 months since my boss called me into his office and tried to crush me with one sentence. 14 months since I felt my world collapsing. And today, I can say this without shaking, I'm okay. I'm more than okay. I'm free. After the settlement, I didn't stay at Harlow and Pierce forever. I could have HR beg me to, offered me a new title and a salary bump to $92,000, but I realized something. Even if Graham was gone, the walls still remembered. So I used the settlement money to buy myself time and choice. I took 3 months off. I slept. I went to therapy. I ate meals that weren't just survival. I went on long walks with my phone on airplane mode and let my nervous system learn peace again. Then I accepted a role at a competitor firm, one that didn't treat culture like a poster on a break room wall. My current boss, Elena Park, said something in my interview that made my throat tighten. Elena, I read your work portfolio. I don't care about the gossip. I care about your talent. And I don't tolerate intimidation here. I almost cried in the conference room. As for Noah, the last time we spoke was 6 months ago over the phone, when he tried to pull the same trick he always did, soft voice, sad tone, hoping I'd comfort him. Him, I miss you. Me, you miss what I did for you. Him, that's not fair. Me, it's accurate. Him, do you hate me? I paused, surprised by my own honesty. Me, no, I exhaled. I don't hate you anymore. I just don't trust you. And I don't build a life on people I can't trust. He whispered. Him, Graham ruined everything. Me, Noah, you did. He didn't have a response. For once, he was speechless. He sent a few texts after that. Noah, can we meet for coffee? Noah, I want closure. Noah, I'm not a bad person. I never answered. Because the best closure is distance. And Graham? I heard through the industry that he tried to land at another firm and couldn't. Not with the investigation record. Not with multiple complaints that surfaced after mine. Not with his name attached to retaliation, coercion, and hostile work environment. Last I heard, he was consulting independently, smaller clients, less influence, no empire to hide behind. He thought he was untouchable. He was wrong. And here's what I want to say to anyone listening, anyone who has ever been cornered by someone with power who thought they could silence you. Record the truth if you legally can. Document everything. Trust your gut. Don't resign out of fear. Don't apologize for protecting yourself. Because words can be weapons. But evidence? Evidence is a hammer. And the day Graham tried to use my marriage to control me was the day I learned my own voice, steady, strategic, undeniable, was stronger than his threats. The best answer I ever gave them wasn't an argument. It was my life getting bigger after they tried to make it smaller.